Hello friends, I am here for organized self-employment ministry and budget lecture which is written by me Amit Kumar Jha, Shardapur, Lohna Road, Dharbhanga, Bihar, pin code 847407, mobile number 9411761704. I am Amit Kumar Jha, Shardapur, Lohna Road, Dharbhanga, Bihar. I have made organized self-employment ministry in book in 2001. This book is telling us a right of pension, fundamental right. There should be right of pension, fundamental right. A right of pension after 14 years should be fundamental right. A right of educational certificate in capital value should be fundamental right. A right of educational certificate in capital value should be fundamental right. Direct link to ministry and budget. Preamble wise organized employed. Preamble wise organized self-employed. 4 slab pension. There should be 4 slab pension 18, 32, 46, 58 year. There should be constitutional life efforted by us by self-earning, self-work, certain cash, certain fiscal credit showing to organized self-employment ministry. From 2001, I have been propagating this book Truth Only Terms which I am holding in my hand. This is my creation in 2001 and now it is 2021. I am trying to sold. I have sold few copies also. The popularity is not coming up because people are very frank, but now I am going to discuss all this in organized self-employment ministry lecture. First is self-earning, self-work, certain cash making system. I have made a table of organized fiscal credit table Amit Kumar Jha in 2001. By that we can immediately fix the 8th standard, 10th standard, 12th standard, graduation, post graduation and different types of people work in the fiscal credit salary, and according to that we can easily tell to the person that this is your capacity and this is your income on which you can easily manage your resources. Now since it is a clear cut fundamental fiscal credit in organized self-employment government, automatically people start believing in that, because what is there, when government give affiliation the people get registered. Take for example Election Commission of India. Earlier everyone was fighting for one vote organized before 1947, so no one was giving validity. From 1885 we have been doing different session, only few were getting the vote bank and they were being selected in different assemblies and the parliamentary different procedures. But the rest at that time also India was from the means population was reaching 33 crore, and you must know that in 1947 round about 30 to 33 crore our population was there. Now you can imagine Election Commission had at that time not given the vote credibility, and gradually Pandit Nehru gave the vote credibility. Similarly it has came. Now our is also a difficult times. Earning credibility has not been given. Income tax has given a script that a person who is earning above 30,000 he has to give income tax. Now this is a question, this is means a good thing, but what is there, we have to understand that when we are in this line we want regular income, because what is there, everyone is earning and the job is uncertain. Few are lucky who are having the certain job and they are not pushed out from the job, but most of the people are in organized sector and they are suffering from this. So by the fiscal credit, self earning, self work, certain cash, certain fiscal credit showing commission, we can easily make this system. And for this your faith and trust is required, because when you will go through the book truth only terms, then you will understand that if you support Amit Kumar Jha, Shardapur, Lohna Road, Dharbhanga, Bihar, you can easily make this by our effort. We only have to understand the documents of Shiv Shakti Mandir, the documents of Vishnu Lakshmi Mandir, the documents of Brahma Saraswati ISBN Mandir, the documents of Adi Shakti Jagdamba Mandir, the documents of each united Hindu god and goddess Mandir, the documents of Governmenteshwari, that is coming from these 5 only. And then automatically you will understand the sons and daughter Ganesh, Skanda, Kartikeya, Hanumanji and other Hindu god and goddess. We have to understand annual budget and railway budget. For 73 years it is trying to work. It is working only. But do we have made the documents? Now this is Aadhaar card time. Everyone is carrying Aadhaar card number all over India. And by Aadhaar card our income is also linked, because whenever we are giving salary to each other, we take the Aadhaar card number. Now salary is personal thing. You can very well understand how dear salary is for anyone. I am here for discussing organized self-employment ministry, because organized self-employment ministry is only ministry which is giving self-employment government job to one and all. And for this you have to read this Truth Only Trumps book, which is clearly stating that right of pension should be fundamental right of pension after 14 years for self-earning, self-income, certain cash, certain fiscal credit, certain cash fiscal credit showing fundamental right, direct link to ministry and budget, preamble wise organized employed, preamble wise organized self-employed, 4 slab pension, and we should be self-earning, self-work, certain cash, certain fiscal credit showing infinite population and infinite profession. We have to understand our weakness. Our weakness is irregular income. We have to understand our strength. Our strength is our overpopulation. We have to understand our strong point, that the human capital which we have, which is organizing our administration, like the Election Commission of India and other private sector people who are above 30,000 who are managing the full resources of India. And we have to understand our unity, how the weaker section of our society are loving India and working with us. If we try to understand Amiteshwarism or Amit Kumar Jhaism, we will be able to understand organized self-employment ministry and we will get regular income. We will be having 6 houses: Shiv Shakti Documents House, Vishnu Lakshmi Documents House, Brahma Saraswati Documents House, Adi Shakti Jagdamba Documents House, each united god and goddess Documents House, and Governmenteshwari Document House by preamble wise organized employed, preamble wise organized self-employed. and we can have 30,000 above and 30,000 below division in that, so that self-employment government job can come to each and every one. The question is how we will arrange the finance, the credibility of Indianness, and the emotional feeling which we have towards Indian. If a earner is getting assurance from the government of India side by making organized self-employment ministry, do we not contribute 500 rupees per month? 4 slab pension is assured by this. How much we love our brother and sister, this we can understand. If we are contributing 500 rupees to the organized self-employment ministry which government is guaranteeing, then 500 rupees means 12 month 6,000 rupees. It is not a big amount, but in lieu of that government job self-employment, if the unorganized sector is getting 60 rupees by your contribution, you can imagine how much help you have done. These types of feeling can be done on the large scale also, because our mother country have above 30,000 and below 30,000. Organized self-employment sector can produce earners also. We are the carsevaks of our civilization. You and we can create these types of organized self-employment ministry. It is not like that it cannot be created. Only thing is that we require the determination of self-employment life, the constitutional documents which is required for the development of our methodology. We have not efforted on that level. How we have struggled and how we have made by the efforts of great laureates, means the contribution of our ancestors can be seen from the various efforts which we have done in our civilization. Means how our ancestors can have the effort which you can understand that how we were having the struggle. Means if you will see the history for election commission of India struggle, you can say Jawaharlal Nehru, Mohan Gandhi, Rajendra Prasad, Bhimrao Ambedkar struggled hard for the establishment of election commission of India, कि 30 crore people can get one VAT organized, one vote organized. Means it was a very difficult task in India, because in those days small level people were getting election and rest were not getting the value of that. And you can understand, people starts understanding, then what happens. Now everyone is understanding what is regular income, what is job, and how the job is important. All this is coming in this book in the bhakti form, because we have to understand first our responsibility, then we are getting our rights. That is why truth only terms have been written in a very sweet manner in 2001, and now it is 2021. So if we see the contribution of the other leaders, like the Sri Krishna Sinha in Bihar as chief minister in 1947, or the UP Govind Vallabh Pant in 1947, or the Tanguturi Prakasam Pasutuli in 1953 as chief minister of Andhra Pradesh, or Hyderabad M.K. Vallodi. They had contributed for the motherland, for making election commission of India, and by their grace today the all vote is organized. If we go further, in 1956 the Andhra United Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy was struggling to convince the democratic rights and credentials, and how the people were struggling. And if we see the Assam Gopinath Bardo in 1947, how he was making struggle for the Assam movement and struggling for the Election Commission of India, and how we can contribute for the democratic development of India, and how they gathered momentum, we can understand that we have to understand the feeling that when we generate that emotional feeling of the drama which is required for the development, then only we can make organized self-employment ministry, because contribution from our side is required, because we have to understand what is Shiva Shakti Mandir document, what is Vishnu Lakshmi Mandir documents, what is Brahma Saraswati Mandir document, what is Adi Shakti Jagadamba Mandir document, what is each united god and goddess document, and what is the government history document that we have to sign. Then only we can get salary and fiscal credit salary, and then what are our responsibility. Without understanding, we cannot understand Election Commission or Fiscal Commission of India. So this is very important for me. Apart from this, other, like in Delhi in 1952, Chaudhary Brahma Prakash was the CM in those days, who was struggling for the democracy. Then in the other part of Goa, Daman, Dyub, Dayanand Bandodkar in 1963 was voicing for the democratic movement and other. And then after this in Gujarat, Vallabhbhai 1947 to 1960, he was struggling. Mohan Gandhi and Vallabhbhai Patel was struggling for establishing the democracy. 1948 and 1950 onward they started going, but before that he was struggling, and his credential was there in that, in order to make the Election Commission and one vote organize how the country can move. This we have to understand. For the contribution, they started making people understand that how we have to struggle and how we have to live as truth only terms, and I am making you understand that why organized self-employment ministry is required. As we are keeping car, as we are keeping house, we have to understand organized self-employment ministry is required for employment, because employment is tough nowadays. People have to understand the reality of life. Earning above 30,000 is a difficult task. Reality is that it is means very struggling, and if you have lot of capital, then only we can do. It is very difficult. We have to understand the reality of life, and when we understand, then only we can make organized self-employment ministry. Because the contribution of our ancestor for fiscal for the Election Commission, we have seen. We can download anything on Facebook, we can do anything on WhatsApp, we can pass. But what is that we cannot do is the credibility, the respect, that we cannot generate by that. Because for that though we have to struggle, we have to work hard, we have to cross-examine ourselves by various methodology of questionnaires which are put for our development. That is very important in our life. We have to understand organized self-employment ministry, which generates employment and employment and employment. How? By reading the book. Because we have to understand that how we are making ourselves for the development, because development of ours is very important. And truth only terms, Shardapur, Lohna, Dharbhanga, Bihar is making you understand that by this it is possible. Next is that Haryana Pandit Bhagavat Dayal Sharma, 1966 first CM, how he struggled, how he tried to convince people about democracy. Then the Yashwant Singh Parmar, 1952, Himachal Pradesh CM at that time, how he tried to convince the democratic credential of the people that how democracy can be made. Then the Karnataka K. Changalaya Reddy, 1947, he tried to make the democratic credential. How? Because Election Commission of India was required, one vote was required, 33 crore population was there in those days, and people were not getting chances to understand this. The many types of leader tried to convince this. Today employment is big problem. We have to understand that by documentation We can make fiscal credit commission of India like election commission of India. 6 unborn mandir is there in India from the ancient time. We can become the part of that, and by organized self-employment ministry we can make house-wise distribution and sign the document in front of the government. Government can contribute. Government is contributing for self-help group, NREGA, National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, but on the large scale. When above 30,000 and below 30,000 organized people are involved, it become a great movement. We have to read the book Truth Only Trumps. We have to understand organized self-employment ministry and budget, that we can contribute to our civilization by being organized. The contribution of our political leaders who have struggled hard for making one vote organized in election commission of India cannot be forgotten. The leaders like EMS Namboodiripad 1957 in Kerala have shown that we can safeguard the election commission of India for the means, you can say, for one vote, that how we can contribute the one vote. Then Ravi Shankar Shukla 1956 Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister, how they contributed for the means generation of vote. Today if we can download anything on Facebook or anything type of that, the voting contribution and all this has been given by these ancestors. But now time has changed. A regular income is required from us. It is only following by the signing of the documents in front of organized self-employment ministry. 2 budget we have: annual budget 108 ministry and a railway budget 1 ministry. But one is not, is that Sulabh International. Have you seen the Sulabh International? Similarly, it is organized self-employment ministry. One organized documents from our side: right of pension, fundamental right of pension after 14 years, fundamental right of educational certificate, capital value. We should be preamble by the organized employee, we should be preamble by the organized self-employed, direct link to ministry and budget, and central government and state government house-wise distribution. Automatically what will happen? Pension, gratuity, provident fund, dearness, allowance can come in our constitutional world. 0 to 18 years if required, 18 to 58 years for everyone, and after 58 year retirement. Because organized and unorganized sector both have to work hard, and after that they have to take a retirement. So who judges that retirement? The government. The date we have joined and the date of retirement is fixed. In between 18, 32, 46 and 58 year platform has been given by organized self-employment ministry. When we work for 14 years day and night by self-earning, self-work showing Permonth, at 32 year that pension, gratuity, provident fund and other allowance which we have per month contributed get accumulated, and at 32 years we get pension for that. We can contribute. We are Hindus, we can contribute for Jha and other types of work, because at 32 years our children's either is taking birth or some is of old traditional mythology. So 4-5 years sons and daughters are there. But again the journey starts from 32 years to 46 years, in which when our hair start graying, our body strength start decreasing, our life, our eyes take the spectacle, and after that by the time we reach to 46, Shakespeare's 7 ages which Shakespeare has told starts coming, and we can understand now our strength is decreasing. There was a time we used to challenge, we used to run 5 kilometers in one stretch. Now we require one cold drink in between one required juice. So this we have to understand. So for 46 years our children also have reached to 15 years by that time. So that condition has been made for 46 years, then also we can retire. Then after that 46 to 58 year, little bit old we have become, hair has also reached to the heaven, some hair is there, the full braid is fully gray, and we are, some are dying and some are not dying their hair. In that circumstances, by the time we reach to 58 years fully, some are experienced, some are taking experience, so retirement we take. So by organized self-employed ministry, I am trying to make the concept from 2001 that 1832 46 58 year pension should be there. Now we have to understand, this election commission of India has around about 700 to 800 political parties as their sons and daughters, because you know very well we are a democratic country. But what is there, this Mandir tries to explain clear-cut fundamental that we have 6 unborn, means contributors of Hinduism, which has contributed in organized manner by sacrificing to us, that how we can save our generation and move in truth and non-violence and unity. We can understand how the, means in Bombay state in 1947 B.J. Khair was struggling for the democratic rights, and how Maharashtra Yashwantrao Chavan in 1916 as chief minister was struggling for the democratic rights, and how in Manipur Ram Korang Singha in 1963 was struggling for the democratic rights, and in Orissa how the Hira Krishna Mehtab in 1946 was struggling and was supporting for election commission and tried to glorify the, means democratic rights. And today whatever we have democratic rights by the contribution of the people who has contributed in the societies. Then we can see in Punjab United Gopi Chand Bhargava in 1947 how he was struggling for the democratic right and how he tried to contribute for the democratic rights. In Rajasthan, Hira Lal Sastri in 1949 clearly told that there should be 100% democratic vote and everyone should have the democratic right. Today we are seeing that how the democratic right is flourishing in democracy. In Madras state, O.P. Ramaswamy Reddy in 1947 tried to explain the democratic credential and how it has contributed to the democratic civilization. We can see how the democracy had flourished in India. Madras State Sri Rajgopalachari in 1952 how he glorified the different means cultural and the democratic right, and how one vote has been organized in the different sector, how it has done. We have to understand organized self-employment ministry because it is a life, it is employment, like election commission of India, fiscal commission of India, fiscal credit salary commission is a life of India. Why I am telling the name of 1947 heroes and the current heroes? Because we have to understand, we have to relate our contribution. The breath is same. 33 crore population has become 120 to 130 crore. Our weakness we have to change into our strength. The below human capital has to understand, they has to sign the documents of fiscal credit educational certificate on which fiscal credit can be made, and immediately we will be self-employed. Government has to give the credibility to the politician work. They have to convince to the people. A politician also has to create public opinion. Until and unless when politician tries to create a public opinion, that is called movement. But now world has changed. You can understand, everything is understood. Why politician also has to create? Because for employment.
Until and unless employment will not be, how there will be existence? We have to understand this point, that employment is the very important. The 1969 CN Annadurai, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, how he tried to convince the democratic credential of the country. The West Bengal CM in 1947, Prafulla Chandra Ghosh, how he tried to explain the democratic credential. Mir Chand Mahiya of Jammu Kashmir in 1947, how he tried to convince the democratic credential. We have to understand. I am trying to convince about truth only terms. Organized self-employment ministry, how employment can be generated. The condition is same. Document is required. It is available. Only acceptance of us is required. Until and unless we will not contribute to our work, we cannot do anything. We have to support Amit Kumar Jha on organized self-employment ministry. We have to purchase the book Truth Only Terms, which is written in 2001 by Amit Kumar Jha. We have to understand self-earning, self-work, certain cash, certain fiscal credit is required for the administration. We have made Aadhaar card. We have to also regularize our income by fiscal credit table made by Amit Kumar Jha. We have to understand this. Regular income is required. We have to understand 6 Unborn Mandir are our father and mother. We have to understand this. Until and unless we will not understand, we cannot organize our society. We have to understand this. We have to make ourselves strong enough. We have to understand that when we see Shiv Puran or Ramayana or Bhagavad, that is Rashtrapati Bhavan, our ancestors have contributed for this. We have to understand when we see Durga Sapsati or that is Rashtrapati Bhavan. We have to understand our feeling. We are organizing 130 crore population. When we see our constitution of India, we have to understand it is the employment of 33